Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News, brought to you by Hobbling Japan's Black Friday sale. You'll be able to grab some great deals, and by using the link down below, you'll also be supporting the channel. 2 weeks ago then, Bandai unveiled their extremely disappointing Gunpla lineup for the second quarter of 2025. And what is the best way to follow up on this? By announcing a premium Bandai Limited kit that easily could have been a regular release. The high-grade Desultor from Witch from Mercury. And it comes with that typical premium Bandai price tag, 2,860 yen, 19 US. Not that cheap for a Witch from Mercury kit, but at the very least it does come with a nice array of accessories. We're getting 2 heat knives, which can be stored inside of the forearms, an assault rifle with removable magazine, a shield with 2 additional magazines, a shoulder-mounted triple missile launcher, a backpack-mounted quadruple missile launcher, which can be outfitted with jamming pods, a troop container, and stickers to mark it as Olcott's unit. So with this one set, you can replicate the A-type equipment, B-type equipment, and C-type equipment. And this thing is slated for a February release. And alongside it, we also got all of the details for the high-grade Gundam-based Fukuoka Limited Sinanju Ver.GSF. It'll be releasing on the 30th for 3,300 yen, 22 US, and other than its color scheme, it does have one more difference with the standard Sinanju. It now comes with 2 beam rifles instead of just the 1. And in the future, it might also be sold at other Gundam bases or other Gundam-related events. Meanwhile, over at the figure front then, we first got all of the details for that premium Bandai Limited Robot Spirits Twin Ball Set, Battle of Solomon version, and Rigdom, Battle of Solomon version, which were of course announced together with the Big Zam. And the cool thing with both sets is that they are a bit more than just separate releases of the previously released Rigdom and Ball combo set. The Rigdom goes for 8,250 yen, 54 US, and still comes with its heat saber in both active and inactive mode, the beam bazooka and the giant bazooka, but now also comes with a firing effect for that giant bazooka. The ball set then goes for 6,600 yen, 43 US, and now of course comes with 2 balls instead of just the 1, a base for each ball, 4 thruster effect parts, and 4 explosion effect parts. Because unfortunately, the Federation's balls do have a reputation for prematurely exploding, even though when you look at the lore, their balls are actually quite capable. Both sets went up for pre-order on the 22nd, are slated for a June release, and come with a slightly darker color scheme than the older combo pack. And we got another recolor announcement this week, the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Phantaci RX-78-2 Gundam version J, with Phantaci being a Chinese apparel brand, and as you can tell from the pictures on the screen, the name is written slightly differently. And also based on those images, it looks like this is a recolor from the Fixed Figuration Metal Composite RX-78-02 Gundam, the one from the origin, but now just with less accessories because all of the origin exclusive things have been removed, meaning that we're only left with the standard beam rifle, 2 hyper bazookas, the shield, 2 beam sabers with beam effect parts, and a cool stand to put it on. If you want one though, getting your hands on this thing is probably going to be quite expensive. It goes for 30,800 yen, 203 US, and not only is it premium Bandai Limited, it's also only available through lottery sales, at least on the Japanese premium Bandai, and it won't be releasing until September of 2025. Also very expensive then is the premium Bandai Limited G-Frame Full Armor Psycho Gundam. While 14,960 yen, 99 US, might only be half of the price of that metal composite RX-78-2 that we just had a look at, it is important to keep in mind what we're getting here. The detailing and the styling of this thing is absolutely amazing, which is also why I was tempted to get it at first, but then I saw the price tag. But the downsides are that G-frame figures / model kits are slightly smaller than 1/144th scale high-grade figures, and their quality is significantly lower. And I call them a figure / model kit because they're like somewhere in between. They require less assembly than your standard model kit, but they're not like action figures that are ready straight out of the box. To end on a positive note then, it can transform, and it also comes with a really cool display base to put it on. This thing went up for pre-order on Japanese Premium Bandai on the 22nd, and it can be yours in April. The next kinda limited thing then kinda surprised me. Ichiban Kuji announced their next Gundam-related Ichiban Kuji lottery, and it is called Gundam 00 Gundam Meisters, with the big prize being this Masterlise Mechanics Exia, a highly detailed figure that stands at 22 centimeters tall, which is a little under 9 inches, with the other prizes yet to be announced. But we do know that the tickets will be 850 yen each, 6 US, and that they're slated for a April release. And unlike every other Ichiban Kuji set that I've seen so far, this one is only available online, so not in stores. So yeah, not really limited, but still more limited than usual. For the people then who are getting sick of Gundam Seed-related news, I've got some bad news for you all, because on December 18th, Nico Nico will be hosting their yearly 100 Internet Buzzwords Award ceremony, which takes the most popular words from the Nico Nico Encyclopedia and the Pixiv Encyclopedia and ranks them by popularity. And amongst the 100 selected words this year, there are a lot of Gundam Seed Freedom related words. We have Gundam Seed Freedom itself, Kira Yamato, Atheron Zala, Lacus Klein, Raudla Crusade, Mighty Strike Freedom, and the list goes on. So I don't think that the hype train surrounding Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Freedom, at least in Japan, is going to die down anytime soon. So yeah, buckle up. Which is also evidenced by the Gundam Seed Freedom collaboration with Tower Records Café, which has opened up for business today and will last until December the 20th. Just don't forget to make a reservation if you want to go there. You can buy a bunch of merchandise and of course enjoy the Freedom-inspired menu. For drinks, we have Kira's Blue Lychee Soda, Lax the Strawberry Mocha, Atheron's Hot Sangria, Kigali's First Love Soda, Shin's Berry Soda, and Lunamaria's Purple Sweet Potato Milk. I didn't know sweet potato milk was a thing. The main courses then consist of Atheron Sigok, which looks like a pastry kind of thing, and Lacus's lovely fried meal set, consisting of french fries, rice, a hamburger patty, fried shrimp, some ketchup, and of course some healthy veggies. And for dessert, you can go for this Mighty Strike Freedom Parfait or these Haro cream puffs. I think they're cream puffs. And if you want to go for takeout, you can also get this takeout bottle. In other anime news then, the ALC Encounter video is now being shown at the life-size New Gundam. And it sure was a thing. Both Lola and Char seem to have been like reincarnated into our reality as like slightly different versions of their UC selves, and Lola now became a YouTuber, while Char is just like hanging around. That is, he's hanging around until the UC version of Amuro appears out of nowhere and begins fighting Char, because Amuro is not going to let Char go, not even if it's in a different dimension. And their fight then is so intense that it resonates with the Psycho frame that was apparently installed in the New Gundam and Sazabi statues there. Remember, this is supposed to be our reality. So even the statues then begin fighting. What are they fighting about? I don't know, probably influencer Lala, who doesn't actually care about them because she just keeps doing her dance routine while they're fighting. And then in the end, Char and Amuro are spirited away while influencer Lala embraces her friend slash girlfriend slash fellow singer, because influencer Lala and the other girl are of course the anime versions of the two singers that are singing the theme song for this animated short. And I also love how they did the credits. Rather than just a normal credit roll, they have Lala's dancing video on the left, and the credits appear as like comments during a live premiere on YouTube. And on the same day, the statue also got its Winter 2024-2025 illumination with a special opening ceremony. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Ireland Custom Unit 2 has joined the fray, while on Steam the God Gundam has become available. For UC Engage then, both the Japanese version and the global version are celebrating their respective birthdays. The Japanese version celebrates its 3rd anniversary with a limited gacha for the UR Camille Bidon and the UR Zeta Gundam with I-Field Claw and I-Field Blaster, a bunch of login bonuses, and 2 announcements for the story mode. On December the 4th, the 4th chapter of the Angel Halo crossover UCE will be released, and at an as of yet undetermined date, Moon Gundam will be getting a sequel. So look forward to more of those glorious UC Engage cutscenes. Just don't expect them in the global version anytime soon, because they are currently on the 2nd part of their 1st anniversary celebrations, with things like special UR character select unit assembly tickets, a lot of coins, a super limited unit assembly for the UR Char Aznable and his UR Zeong, and more. And on top of that, they're also celebrating 2 million downloads with up to 5,000 diamonds, 200 rainbow horo coins, and more. And finally, in the Arsenal-based arcade game, they got a new set of UT booster cards to collect, with the main cards of the set being Stella and the Destroy Gundam, Tovia and the Crossbone Gundam X3, Breyer and the Gundam Delta Kai, and Gaia and the Dom. In other news then, Kunya Okawada, Go Nagai, and Yoshikaze Yasuhiko will be appearing at the Pop Over Musashino event on February the 8th, and at the Tokyo Anime Award Festival 2025, Kenyu Horiuchi will be one of the people honored in the Anime Achievement category. And in Gundam, he is of course known for voicing Masha Marcello from Double Zeta Gundam. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 23rd, we first got the Robot Spirit Strike Noir Gundam version anime for 12,100 yen, 80 US. And as I've said before, those legs are unfortunately very anime line art inspired. Both the high grade and the master grade make the lower legs look longer by making the shin parts longer, but this Robot Spirits figure on the other hand keeps the short shins of the line art, resulting in a quite stubby appearance. As for the accessories then, we've got the Noir Striker with 2 linear guns and 2 beam blades with beam saber blade effect parts, 2 shorty beam rifles and 2 dual beam rifles, which can share the 2 included beam firing effect parts, a bunch of hands, and of course also special hands, which can be outfitted with the rocket anchors. From the 25th then, the 28th lineup of the Mobile Suit Ensemble series became available in Gachapon machines across Japan. So for 500 yen a spin, 3 US, you can get the Strike Freedom Gundam Type 2, which is looking quite white, the Proud Defender to turn it into the Mighty Strike Freedom, Char's Gelgoog, Guel's Custom Delonza, the Standard Delonza, and a weapon set that comes with a little bit for every mobile suit. There's a beam shield, single beam saber, combined beam sabers, and the combined beam rifles for the Strike Freedom, a very white Naginata for Char's Gelgoog, and parts to turn the standard Delonza into Lauda's Delonza. And released just today are the Master Grade Super Deformed Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version and the High Grade Bolinoak Sammahn. The Bolinoak Sammahn goes for a grand 3,520 yen, 23 US, but that is partially because it is a pretty big mobile suit. It just looks small because it's built like a dwarf who has the head of an insect, the claw of a giant lobster, and a high mobility backpack. The Master Grade Super Deformed Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz, on the other hand, is much more of a looker. And it also has a comparatively much better price tag. Sure, it is more expensive at 4,950 yen, 33 US, but it comes with a very fancy inner frame, armor and wing separation gimmicks, an extending twin buster rifle, and reflection cuts on the clear parts as a finishing touch. For this week's reading material then, there was the January issue of Model Graphics, featuring the Real Grade RX-78-2 version 2.0 and the High Grade G Standard, the January issue of Shonen Sunday Special, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, the January issue of Gundam Ace, in which a lot of series are being serialized, the January issue of Hobby Japan, featuring an incredibly impressive 160 scale Zakuto F-Type, which I believe is like heavily modified from the old 160 scale kit, combined with, of course, a lot of scratch building, because that old kit was nowhere near this complex. And we also got some more excerpts from the December issue of CG World. For Silver Phantom, they talk more about this particular scene and how they translated the artwork into VR, and for Requiem for Vengeance, they talk more about the modeling of the characters, specifically their faces, which, ironically enough, was done with a program called Phase Good, which is a description absolutely no one used when seeing those faces. No phase good, phase bad. Also, they had some trouble getting Yuri Kalani right, and they had to keep retouching him until just before the deadline hit. And I could definitely tell in the show, because his character model did still feel off, especially when it was moving around. And we also got some tankobon releases this week. There was the 4th volume of Gundam Sequel, the 1st volume of Gundam F90 Cluster, the 6th volume of Gundam F91 Prequel, the 3rd volume of Gundam Werewolf, the 6th volume of Around 30 Office Lady Hamon-sama, and both volumes of the old Victory Gundam manga, which were re-released under the name New Edition Mobile Suit V Gundam. And when I first saw the cover of the 1st volume of this manga, well, the new cover of this manga, I thought there was something wrong with Uso's hair, because it looks like his normal hair, but then with the outline of a different hairstyle behind it, almost as if they messed up the layers in the editing program. But then when I looked into it some more, this is apparently how his hair looks in the manga, so yeah, it is correct. Meanwhile, on Volume 2, we got a very cute Marbot. For this week's apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off on the 22nd with G Gundam inspired Hanten, which is like a kind of traditional Japanese winter coat. There's a standard one for 24,200 yen, 159 US, or a long one for 26,400 yen, 174 US. And on them, there is some absolutely beautiful art of either the God Gundam, the Master Gundam, or the Shining Gundam. And if you wanted some of these for yourself, they became available in physical Strict G stores on the 23rd. Bankore, meanwhile, came out with 2 45th anniversary collections, with the first one being the Mask Collection, featuring various items with the masks worn by the Gundam antagonists throughout the years. There's the OG Char Aznable, Iron Mask, Chronicle Asher, Schwartz Bruder, Major Lube, Zex Marquise, Jamil Neat, Harry Ort, Raula Crusade, Neo Roanoke, Mr. Bushido, Full Frontal, Zahard Galette, Mask, Vidar, Montauk, and Prospera. And you can get them on a t-shirt for 3,740 yen, 25 US, a tote bag for another 3,740 yen, 25 US, an eco bag for 3,300 yen, 22 US, or a pouch for, again, 3,740 yen, 25 US, all of which will be releasing in January. And the second collection then features the 45th anniversary holo on a variety of things as well. There's a cushion for 3,850 yen, 25 US, a pouch for 1,760 yen, 12 US, or a mug for 2,530 yen, 17 US. And all of these things will be bouncing and rolling your way in February. And last but not least, this week Gundam's collaboration with Casetify was also announced. They've already shown off some of the upcoming products like phone cases, a hardshell pouch, and an earbuds case, but in addition to that, they've also got a vote going on for either the Earth Federation or Zeon. Voting will get you placed on their waitlist, and the faction with the most votes will get an exclusive item unveiled on the 7th. And all of these items will become available on the 9th or on the 8th if you have priority access. I will have the website linked down below. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know what people found to be the most attractive thing about the Bolinoak Sammahn. And with 41.4%, most people found its overall shape its biggest charming point, which the article then describes as being round with thick and sturdy legs, a huge shield, and an insect-like head. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. In second place then, with 33%, we have the sensor radome on the head, which is what I voted for, followed by the claw with 18.4%, and finally the backpack with 7.2%. Which, when you think about it, was actually one of its biggest assets, combined with that sensor radome. The Bolinoak Sammahn was mainly an information gathering machine, and that large backpack with a lot of thrusters would be incredibly useful for, first of all, getting to the place to gather the information, and then getting back from the place with the information. As for the currently ongoing poll then, December the 12th is Kanji Day in Japan, so Gundam.info wanted to know what our favorite mobile suit with a kanji is. The Hyakushiki, the Bau, the Akatsuki, or the Shin Burning Gundam. And to absolutely no one's surprise, the Hyakushiki is in a commanding lead. The original badass golden mobile suit that also prominently displays the kanji for Hyaku on both of its shoulders. And Hyaku means 100 in Japanese, and Shiki means type in Japanese. So Hyakushiki means type 100, as in a type of mobile suit that was meant to last for 100 years, which, I mean, it fell a little bit short of that, but we don't talk about that. In an also pretty comfortable second place then, we have the Akatsuki Gundam, with the kanji for Akatsuki on its left shoulder. At least most of the time, because for example in its line art, it's not there. And Akatsuki is Japanese for dawn. This then means that the only real fight we've got going on is for third place, and even that one seems to have been pretty much decided already, with the Bau getting noticeably more votes than the Shin Burning Gundam. The Bau has the kanji for Bau on its left front skirt, and they mean flying dragon. Whereas the Shin Burning Gundam has the kanji for Shin on its shoulder armor, and Shin means new. So yeah, for the aforementioned reasons, my choice was very quickly made, and I voted for the Hyakushiki. But if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below, which is of course where you'll also find the links to Hobbling Japan's Black Friday sale. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.